Okay, I'm going to do two questions today for Ask Lee they're both from Yollie T. So I'm going to put them both together in today's Ask Lee.
Welcome to my channel. You are entering the world of magic and mysticism with your host, Lee W. Johnson. Keep the lights on and help improve the channel by becoming a supporter for just $2.99 per month. Hit the join button.
Okay, so the first question is, what are the fundamental basics you need to master when new to paganism? Meditation and breathwork. They are absolutely necessary. You're going to use them right through, and although people don't enjoy it, people don't like it, because just sitting down for, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes and being still, is very difficult for a lot of people. But with practice it becomes easier and easier, and you find that with practice you start to notice the benefits, you start to gain things. So you know, it really is a case of just doing it. You have to just do it. So meditation, definitely you have to meditate. It helps in many different ways, but mostly what you'll find meditation is great for, is stilling the inner dialogue. So that monkey mind that keeps going crazy, the voices that keep telling you, you should have done this, you should have done that, asking the questions, what we're having for supper, how are we going to get a raise from the boss, and things like that. All of those things, all of those voices, our voice in our head, the inner dialogue, that just carries on and on and on and on. Meditation helps to silence that, to still it. And also what you find is meditation is helpful for trance work. But this goes hand in hand with breath work, so that's why I said breath work also. So learning different types of breathing exercises, learning where or why they are beneficial for you, and all the different ones, like alternate nostril breathing. Why do you do alternate nostril breathing? It is a yogic practice, but it helps to balance the energies. We have Ida and Pingala, two energy flows that, or channels, that are on either side of the main central channel of Sushumna, and this helps to raise the energy up slowly through the spine and through the chakras until it meets in the third eye and then explodes into the crown. But just doing alternate nostril breathing and not understanding why you're doing it, it still has its benefits, but understanding really, really helps to, get that energy moving in the way it's supposed to, and things like that. But just simple box breathing or ratio breathing, learning how to do belly breath, learning breath of fire. All of these things are meditation, visualization, and breathwork. So that's the meditation and breathwork. Other practices which are quite fundamental are visualization and concentration. This helps to, again, still the monkey mind, still or silence the inner dialogue, because you have to learn to focus and concentrate on one particular thing. And as I say visualization, a lot of people do have difficulty with visualization, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you cannot do these things. There are other exercises and methods you can use in the same manner. But all of those things, so it's really about stilling the mind, learning breathwork, because breathwork allows you to understand how to move energy, how to create and build up energy and then move it. And visualization and concentration come into this as well, because when you're doing a particular working, if you're doing spell work or if you are trying to focus on a sigil, whether you are pulling in energy, the elemental energies, in order to focus and concentrate it, in order to push it into a servitor. All of these things require breath work. They require the control and movement of energy. They require focus and concentration, because if you are pulling in energy and then all of a sudden you think, oh damn it, I should have told this person in that email that we need to do X, Y, and Z, then it's not going to work. You've broken the chain, you've broken the concentration, you've broken the flow of energy. So you need that concentration, that focus, the practice of it, in order to pull these things in. Those, I would say, are fundamental. And also protection. When you begin learning paganism, you begin learning magic, if you are learning magic, obviously. I mean, paganism is a broad thing, so you may not even go into the magical side of it. You may go into the devotional side of it, and that's fine. Some people don't go into the devotional, they just go into the pure magic side and the craft. So it depends on what direction you're going in, obviously. But protection is definitely one of them, and I think for all aspects of paganism. And the reason being, you are opening yourself up. And when you open yourself up, you put on light bulbs. And like moths to a flame, astral parasites like these light bulbs going on, because they know, aha, somebody's new, let's go feed. So protection is a very good thing. It's not something you have to do immediately. I mean, we talk about these astral parasites coming to feed on us and things like that. It's not as scary as I think we make it out to be. It can be. I mean, there are situations which are quite bad, but generally it may just be a slight drain in energy. You do get some serious cases where things get a bit haywire. But generally, it's just a case of learning what happens. I mean, for astral parasites to come and start feeding on your energy is actually a very good lesson. It's something you need to learn anyway. And then during that process, you then learn how to banish, to cleanse, to protect. So, if those things didn't happen, you wouldn't know what you're protecting yourself, what you're banishing, and what you're cleansing from. So those things are important. They're important lessons, and they're not, they're not going to take your life or anything like that. But protection and cleansing and banishing are some of the other things that we need to learn as well, right from the get-go. And that's really the fundamentals. Yeah. The rest of it, once you've got those basics, then you can start moving on to other things. Alright, so the second question from Yollie. How do I know that a god or goddess wants to work with me? This is a bit tricky because it's different in different cases. In some cases, you will keep getting that knock on the door over and over and over and over again, and that could go on for years, until you finally just say, okay, fine, I will work with you. In some cases, it could be that you meet the god or goddess in dream work, and they speak to you directly and they tell you, I want to work with you, or you need to work with me, or we are joined at the hip, or whatever it is. They will speak to you directly in dream work. If that doesn't work, a lot of people aren't that. Well, some people are great at dream work, other people are not so good. So if that doesn't work, what you might find is that a particular topic may keep throwing itself at you, just popping up on social media and everywhere. And it keeps directing you back to that same deity, that same god or goddess. You see it in social media, you see it in advertising, you see it everywhere. It's just one of those things you can't avoid. And I think that really does kind of sum it up. It's just that constant knocking at the door. That's when you know a deity wants to work with you. a specific deity. Now, you might just decide that you want to work with a particular deity, and because it's one that equates, you find resonates with you, and one that you like, and you want to work with it. And sometimes that works. You know, you sit there and you create a devotional space, and you say, I want to work with you. Sometimes it's fine, they want to work with you as well, but other times they don't. Whether you want to or not, they don't, and you've got to accept that and move on. You know, we don't always get to decide. I do find that when a god or goddess wants to work with you, it's not just they want to work with you, it's that there is a particular connection that cannot be denied. You know, this is where all the different relationships come in. I think if we want to work with a particular deity and we go to them, we say, I want to work with you, they may say yes or no. But that is a completely different relationship to one that has such a strong bond and connection that you cannot get away from it, you cannot move away from it. There is actually no choice in the matter. There's just occasionally that kind of connection comes along. That's usually what a lot of people can or refer to as their matron or patron. And in a lot of cases, what you find is that deity, and you know, in some cases it is that connection, that matron-patron connection. In other cases it's not. It's just a deity, a god or goddess or a spirit that you need to work with for a particular time in order to learn a particular thing. But what you might find is that spirit has a characteristic that you do not have, and it may be one that you reject, but it's something that you need. So you know, that characteristic actually comes into play in your life, and that spirit comes into play in your life in order to bring that characteristic, in order to balance you. So there's a lot of different ways we can actually look at this, but I think those are probably, for me, the most obvious. Yeah. Anyway, alright, so I hope that answers your 2 questions. If it doesn't, then leave me another comment in the comments below, and I'll elaborate more. Okay. Alright, so I'll see everybody next week. Have a good one for now. Cheers for now. Bye bye.